Time for some ecchi. Hello and welcome. That's my merchandise. This is my manga. I am that man. And today we're looking at one of my favourite series of recent years, Prison School. Now, a lot of people know of this series because, well, yeah. And honestly, it is a great series. Now, this has been released by Yen Press and it's been wrote by Akira Hiramoto. Now, what's interesting about this series is that this was born because Akira Hiramoto's previous manga didn't do particularly well, and it was cancelled because it didn't have enough fan service. So he went the other way and made quite possibly the most over-the-top, outrageous fan servicey series ever. And it's not even fan service in that it's nice fan service. There is that in there. It's grotesque fan service. You're gonna get fart jokes. You're gonna get boob jokes. You're gonna get like guys getting whipped and abused, and it works. It really does. Now, like I said, I like stuff like Monster Musume. I'm not gonna lie, I like fan service series if they're good. But this one is the one I recommend to people who are not always into fan service, because it's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like Konosuba, where Konosuba appeals to other people except for just boobs. And it takes place in a fictional school in which 4 boys manage to attend the all-girls school. They are called peeping because, of course, the boys. They're teenage boys with libidos and aspirations, and they're thrown into prison. The prison is run by 3 girls. One of them hates men, which there's a reason for. And one of them is a dominatrix, kind of. And the other is very naive, but very aggressive. And the boys realise that they're not going to have an ideal school life, so they try to escape, because it turns out that they're going to get at first they're in for a few days and they're like, fair enough, we did wrong, we got caught, we'll pay our time. And then it transpires that they end up in a subplot by the president of the underground club, I can't remember what it's called. And basically they end up being forced in this thing because she hates men. She wants men out of the school, and they are forced into this whole situation where it's like, yeah, you're not getting out. We're going to use you as an example to see we can't have men in the school. We want an all-girls school, and it all comes from there. So they decide that they need to start breaking out and appealing, because they're not going to be hurt. They like everything they do, they're basically abused, they're tortured, kind of. A lot of them like it, to be fair. The young boys, the perverts, so it's like, oh well, there's this hot woman who's treating me like rubbish, and it's like, I've never had this kind of thing before, and it's like, yeah, it's like, at first I was kind of like, yeah, this is like wishful fit. Then I was like, to be fair, for the age, it kind of feels kind of right, and it's like, it's appealing to certain demographics, yeah, but it is fun, and there's a lot of kind of sensible stuff in how they're doing it. Like I said, a lot of the fan service, it's over the top, it's grotesque. I mean, this girl, she wears skimpy uniforms, but she's always constantly sweating and stuff like that, so it's like, it kind of makes sense why stuff like that's happening. Even the whole big boobs and stuff like that, it's explained in later volumes. I mean, it's after the anime, but it's explained, and we will cover that when we get to volume 5 which is when it goes from the anime. And yeah, it's a fun series. Now, what's interesting about this is this is a chunky book. This is volume 1, but this is actually volume 1 and volume 2 that they've combined into it, just to make things get out a little bit faster. You get them once every 3 months. The most recent one is volume 10. Volume 11's out soon. The series is finished, unfortunately. It was one of those series that I kind of was hoping was going to go on for a lot longer. But then I was like, well, it's 26 or 27 volumes, and I was like, is that a good run? So it's probably going to end on volume 13. So, but yeah, I mean, they're doing like basically 2 volumes every time it comes out. So it's like, that's faster than like almost anything else that's coming out at the moment. And I can't fault them for that. It's over the top, it's ridiculous, it's a fun series. It's one of those series, like I said, a lot of people write it off straight away because of the fan service. But once people actually watch it, they get into it and they realise how ridiculous it is. Even if you don't want to see boob series, you're going to get a lot of fun out of this. And for me, I would definitely recommend it. If, like I said, it's an older, it's a mature, it's an adult one. If you can get away with that, definitely check this one out. It's definitely a recommendation from me. And that's it. I'll talk more when we get on to volume 2. But for now, thanks for coming, and thanks again. Goodbye. Did you enjoy that? Well, we've got some other stuff on the site if you want to have a little bit of look. Nendoroids, gaming, One Piece merchandise, it's all kind of there. So if you click around here, you'll be able to subscribe or at least have a look on the channel. Also, there's some other things just around here. Thanks for coming, and thanks again. Goodbye.